Allow me to introduce myself and tell you a little bit what led me to funeral directing as my career choice. My name is Matthew Gallo, and in March of 2020, as the COVID pandemic raged through the world and literally stopped us in our tracks and time stood still, I was in my last year of high school. Months literally left. What should have been a time for planning proms and graduations became a time of watching the deaths rise in New York City by the day. The epicenter of the pandemic is what they called it. Funeral homes overwhelmed with bodies and families unable to grieve properly. It was at that moment, while reading a professor and his students upstate New York, that I first thought of funeral directing as my career choice. I believe nothing happens without a reason. As soon as things lifted a bit, my phone rang. As I know some people in the business, funeral homes needed help, and I answered the call. It truly is a call to bring peace at a time of chaos, closure at the very end. That suit that should have been worn to prom offered me the opportunity to do something much greater, provide comfort to grieving families. My mother often told me that I am an old soul. She does have a point. I enjoy the company of older generations, listening to hear their stories and how they were raised and grown up at that time. That's the same comfort that I feel that I could bring to the funeral industry, listening to my customers and listening to their stories about their loved one. Funeral directors ensure that human life is respected and valued beyond the loss of natural life. My great-grandmother passed at 103, my grandfather at 67, and my neighbor at just 7. Very different emotions at these 3 funerals, but the job remains the same. Provide peace, provide comfort, console, and give that family closure on their loss. I believe that my genuinely warmth, concern, and care for human life will ensure that I can provide these things to a family with the utmost respect. I believe funeral directing found me as what meant to be my work and my reason. Funeral directing means a lot to me. It means to help people in a time of need, in a time where they are at a loss and they need guidance on how to grieve. And I feel that I am able to do that by being a funeral director. And me being such a caring and loving individual, I feel that I would like to bring this to many different grieving families to help them at such a time of loss. And during the COVID pandemic, which should have been the year of me graduating and enjoying, brought me to funeral directing. I do believe that God has a calling for all of us, and this was definitely my calling. He made me think about what my career choice would have been, and the COVID pandemic did, which led me to my career choice of being a funeral director. And I hope that you guys consider me for this scholarship. And I know that one day I will continue to be the successful in this industry. Thank you very much.